Hello, hi, I'm Lingwei and I'm a PhD student at Ohio State University. I really appreciate to have this opportunity to present our work, and thanks a lot for taking time to watch this video. Today, I'm gonna talk about shallowing glacial Antarctic intermediate water caused by changes in sea ice and hydrological cycle. So the Antarctic Intermediate Water is characterized as the salinity minimum water mass at intermediate depths. It could transfer surface ocean properties into ocean interior, such as nutrients and atmospheric carbon dioxide. During glacial time period, there was a fundamental reorganization of the global ocean circulation with major shifts in the transfer of carbon dioxide between the oceans and atmosphere. Therefore, there are many modeling and observational studies exploring the circulation and ventilation of AIW. However, existing studies regarding changes in AIW vertical extent seem to be controversial, and these inconsistencies motivate us to study its vertical variability and the last glacial maximum in coupled climate models. So here we use two experiments, pre-industrial and last glacial maximum experiments from one fully coupled isotope-enabled models, ICESM, and 4 PMIP3 climate models. We also use 4 coupled climate models from the CMIP5, which have pre-industrial simulation and long global warming projection simulation under warming scenario of RCP 8.5 available. So results in ICESM and PMIP3 show a shallower AIW core depths and a northward shift of the AIW outcrop latitude and the LGM compared to the PI, as shown in these two scatter plots. In figure A, open circles are for the PI and solid circles are for the LGM. Take yellow circles, for example, it shows a shallower AIW depths during the wintertime as the LGM. And at the meantime, the AIW outcrop latitude is moving northward. This northward shift of AIW outcrop latitude is also consistent with the northward shift of sea surface salinity minimum latitude as shown in this figure C. This systematic northward movement of AIW implies that the AIW depths can be shallower during the LGM. We can also see shallower AIW from two physical plots at bottom, which have salinity contours at the PI and LGM in dashed lines. The markers here refer to the sea surface salinity minimum, and those thick lines are AIW isopycnals. Red is for the PI and blue is for the LGM. Clearly, we can see that the AIW as well as the sea surface salinity minimum is moving northward as the LGM, because AIW originates from the sub-Antarctic surface ocean and ventilates northward into subtropical oceans and mid-depths. It is reasonable to propose that the shallowing AIW depths as LGM can be driven by the northward shift of the entire AIW and enter the northward shift in sea surface salinity minimum. To further explain the glacial AIW northward shift, we explore the physical mechanisms for the northward shift of sea surface salinity minimum and the LGM. And we found that changes in both sea ice extent and hydrological cycle play two dominant roles on the northward shift of AIW and the LGM. So here, the left panel shows the result from ICESM. Figure A shows the winter sea ice extension during the PI and the LGM. The red dots for the PI and the blue for the LGM. The dashed lines refer the location of 15% sea ice edge. And we can see that there is a cold LGM period. The winter sea ice can expand across to the Southern Ocean to 50 degrees south. And wind-driven sea ice transport and high southern latitude has been found important for salinity distribution and the formation of AIW. The westerly wind could promote northward transport of ice, and the melting sea ice then reduce sea surface salinity in the north. This could feed the AIW with fresher water and favors a northward shift of sea surface salinity minimum. Consequently, compared with physical plots at bottom showing northward shift of sea surface salinity minimum, the extensive sea ice at the LGM can lead to AIW moving further north. Another explanation we proposed is hydrological cycle. The precipitation during the LGM also contributes to the northward shift of sea surface salinity minimum and associated AIW shift. Figure B here shows the precipitation minus evaporation flux. The dashed lines here refers location of P minus E maximum, and we can see it moves equatorward during the winter. This is mainly caused by the reduced precipitation and the northward displacement of the precipitation maximum in the Southern Ocean at the LGM. Therefore, the sea surface salinity minimum tends to move northward at the LGM as a response to this weakening hydrological cycle, which in turn drives AIW moving northward. This is also true in PMIP3 ensemble means. The scatter plots here also show same results. In both ICSM and PMIP3 models, the precipitation maximum and sea ice extent and sea surface salinity minimum move northward during the LGM relative to the PI's position, which suggests that the northward shift of AIW is primarily reinforced by the changes in sea ice and hydrological cycle. We also explore the variability of AIW under global warming condition. One may speculate that the response of AIW to global warming would be the opposite to LGM, with the sea ice precipitation maximum and sea surface salinity minimum all shifting southward, and AIW depths becoming deeper. But this turns out to be not true. Here, the right panel shows the CMIP5 ensemble mean of winter sea ice edge, precipitation, and AIW isopycnals for the PI and RCP 8.5 simulations. Visual comparison between the PI and RCP 8.5 experiments clearly shows a poleward shift of sea ice and precipitation maximum, consistent with the poleward shift of sea surface salinity minimum and AIW. This indicates that the surface AIW outcrop shifts poleward in a warming climate, which indeed is opposite inside to the LGM. However, the AIW also shallows under global warming condition relative to the PI. This suggests that the depth of AIW is not determined completely by the surface salinity minimum. Unfortunately, the detailed mechanism for AIW under global warming is beyond the scope of this study, and we suggest that the shallower AIW depths under global warming may be linked to the enhanced stratification and shallower mixed layer induced by surface warming. So overall, very limited paleoceanography observations are currently available regarding the changes in glacial AIW vertical extent, and the interpretation of existing records is controversial. Therefore, further studies, including more robust paleo observations, are needed to better understand the mechanisms that control the AIW depths and extent, especially in the global warming case. That's all I have today, and thank you very much for listening. Any questions and comments are welcome. Thanks.